Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome to today's session. I am really delighted you're here. And we have a relatively small group that's joining us live on Zoom today. We are also broadcasting, streaming, if you will, live on YouTube. So no matter where you're joining us from, I am absolutely delighted that you're here with me. Let me shut off some of the notifications that are going on. We love it when things are working well, and sometimes they make more noise than they should. So anyway, I am absolutely thrilled that you're with me. If you're joining us live, this is Friday morning in Florida, where I'm located. So if you're here in the United States and you're joining me live, good morning to you. And if you are joining us from outside the US, good afternoon or good evening to you. And if you are watching on YouTube live, welcome to you. And if you're watching the YouTube replay, welcome as well. And by the way, we're probably going to have this posted not only on YouTube, but on a few other social channels as well. So thanks for being here. And let's see, we've already got people participating in the chat. We have Marianne here from Orlando. Hey, good morning, Marianne. I know you've attended at least a few of my sessions in the past. And I see some other very familiar names too. Go ahead and let me know in the chat if you're on Zoom, use the chat and let me know what city you're joining me from. Now I see Peter's here from Ocala, Chris is here from Fort Pierce, and I see some other folks joining us coming in the room now. So you know the drill. If you've been with me before, let me know where you're from. Gina, hi Gina. I see you're here from Washington, DC. Delighted to have you. Terrence, you're here from Ocala, terrific. And Javier from Orlando. Thanks, I see what's going on in the chat, and it always tickles me when people are doing things live in the chat. Delighted to have you here. Okay, well, look, we have a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get things started. Let me make sure we got the right screen up here. I think we do. And we'll just give it a moment to actually fully launch, and we'll be good to go. So once again, wherever you're joining me from, hello there. And I'm glad that you've taken time to be with me. Today's free masterclass, and this is one of about a dozen that I'm doing during the month of December and actually early into January too. This one is how to segment your list to get better results from your email campaigns. You know, if you've joined me on the other classes, you know that I am Constant Contact's resident expert, partner, and trainer. And among the things that I hear a lot is, gee, you know, I kind of get this whole thing about email, but now I'd like to go the next level. How do I segment my list so I get better results? Well, I'm glad that you're here because that's what I'm going to teach you. And if this is your first time with me, you know I love to ask this question. Why are you here today? And I'm sure that the answer is that you want to make more money. You know, email marketing delivers a return on investment of $42 for every dollar you spend. And that is the highest return on investment of any marketing tool. So you're smart to be here. You are absolutely in the right place, and let's help you make more money. By the way, if you're joining us on YouTube, that means you may or may not already be on my mailing list. If you're not, I'd encourage you to go to the URL that you see down there that I'm pointing to with the yellow arrow. That's bit.ly/join-the-list. And that URL will be at the bottom of every slide and in the video as well. So be sure that you do join our list. I do not spam. I don't try to sell every time I send an email out. You can expect to get an email from me about once a week. And it's always got some useful information to help you be a better marketer and help you make more money. Hey, and also, if you're joining me on Zoom, in the chat box, give me your company name and your website URL. The reason I'm asking for those is if we have time at the end of this session, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a live demonstration of some software that is guaranteed to get you better results from your marketing. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and put your company name and your website URL in there. And if we have the time, I'm going to use one of the URLs that shows up in the chat to do this live demonstration. It will blow you away. I see Gina is first in there with the American Society for Investigative Pathology. Awesome, asip.org. And Marianne with Metro Plan Orlando. Marianne, I know you and I have spoken before. Marianne's with metroplanorlando.org. There you go. Okay, and I mentioned this is one of about a dozen master classes that I'm doing during the months of December and January. The next three that are coming up, again, if you're watching us live, those are on your screen now. On Monday, it'll be, Tuesday, a free masterclass, Automate Your Marketing. And then later in the day on Tuesday, and if you're watching from someplace else, it may be the next day for you. But that'll be a webinar that I'm doing in conjunction with SCORE on email marketing, and that one is a quick start for 2022. By the way, I try to look at the camera all the time, but if you see me looking away, it's because I've got multiple screens open around me. I'm at a standing desk, and so there's a screen over there and a screen over here and a screen over there. So if I look away, it's because something's caught my attention from one of those other places. Hey, so while you're here, I want to be sure that you don't miss the two live demonstrations. The first one is Constant Contact, where I'm actually going to go in and demonstrate for you how to do segmentation. And it doesn't matter if you're using Constant Contact or something else. The process is the same. I use Constant Contact because it's easy to use, especially for people who are somewhat new to the game of email marketing. I've been associated with them for over 10 years. I'm their top partner, and I was a customer first, and then they recruited me to teach classes. So I absolutely love the platform. The other thing I'll be teaching you and showing you is a phenomenal AI marketing copywriting tool. AI, if you're not familiar with the acronym, that's artificial intelligence, and it's called Jarvis. And what I'll show you is not only how to use it, but also I'll show you how you can get a free trial that will give you actually a bonus of 10,000 words, okay? And one more bonus, that is free limited access to the Email Marketing Academy Essentials program. I'll save that for the end of the session. And what you'll see there is how you'll be able to get a free trial, totally free, no credit card, none of that stuff, and see if it's something that you think will work for you. All right. Hey, listen, this is just a 45-minute segment of an all-day marketing workshop. There is so much to cover when it comes to email marketing. That's why I'm doing a dozen free masterclasses to give you a sense of all of the capabilities that hopefully you're using at least some of them. And if you're not using email marketing yet, that's totally cool. That's why you're here. You want to learn what it is that email can do for you to help you grow your business. All right, so if you're multitasking, I'm going to ask you to come back to me right now. Remove all distractions. We are only together for a short amount of time. So I want to be sure you get everything possible out of this session. So if you've got texts coming in, they'll be there when you get done at the end of the hour. Same thing with other browsers. Just minimize the other browsers. You don't have to close them up. You can minimize them. And if you've got email that's coming in, look, it'll be there when we get done. I assure you, those emails aren't going to disappear from you. So if you're ready, then here we go. If you're ready, put a yes in the chat box for me right now. Terrence is first one in this time. For me, it's fun. It's always like a race. Who's going to get to the keyboard first? If you're with me, go ahead and put a yes in the chat box. Here they come. Everybody's throwing it in there now. And if you're watching on YouTube, well, you could put something really nice in the comment box. But anyway, here we go. This is how to segment your list to get better results from your emails. This is one of the most common questions I get about email marketing is, how do I improve my opens and clicks? And while there are a variety of factors that go into improving results, sending targeted emails can have a huge impact on your results. It starts with segmenting your list or grouping like contacts together so you can send the most relevant information possible. The truth is that everyone's different. People have different needs and wants and interests with the information that you send. So let's take a quick look at a few stats on why targeted emails are so important. Ready? One study shows that 21% of people unsubscribe from emails because they aren't relevant. Another 52%, just over half of consumers, are likely to switch brands if a company does not personalize communications. And those emails that are personalized show 6 times higher transaction rates, 6 times higher. And I also want you to think about the fact that gaining a new customer can be anywhere from 5 to 25 times more expensive than retaining an existing one. Sending timely, relevant emails that people are actually interested in is a great way to keep people engaged with you. In turn, it helps to build relationships, so people will be much more inclined to keep coming back and doing business with you, and maybe even refer you to their friends. Now, I know that you're already strapped for time and resources probably too, so the idea of segmenting your list can be intimidating and maybe even feel time-consuming. The truth is, there are some things I'll show you today to save you some time in the process, but I also want you to know that if you spend some time now to segment your contact list, your email marketing efforts will be more productive moving forward, so you can get the results that you really want. So I'm going to provide some tips and ideas for your own segmentation strategy and talk about some tools so that you can use to accomplish all of this. So let me show you what I'm going to be talking about during this session. And so here they are. Number one is we'll reveal some basic strategies to think about when you're starting to segment your email list. Then I'll talk about some options to think about in order to save you time. That's by getting people to segment themselves. And last but not least, I'll talk about some data and tools that you can use to segment your list and make sure you're sending the most relevant emails. A little bit about me, if we haven't met in person before or even online yet. I'm Ken Countess, and I'm a 40-year marketing veteran. I've been a senior marketing executive during my career at 3 Fortune 100 companies. I know you recognize the names Motorola and Marriott. And if you're in the US, CVS. I was with their Caremark division. I'm currently Constant Contact's top trainer. My company is the Countess Group. And we help you gain a unique advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do these things, targeting your marketing. As Constant Contact's top worldwide trainer, I've actually been recognized for years and years, probably 10 years by the company. They are, by the way, one of the largest email marketing and social media tools that you can use at your disposal fairly quickly and easily. As I mentioned before, what we do is we help you gain a unique advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do targeted marketing. So what I'm going to do at this point is switch off my camera and give you an opportunity to see things full screen. So here we go. The first thing I'm going to talk about is how to use some strategies that you'll want to consider in order to segment your own list. After that, I'll talk about how to get your subscribers to self-segment, and then how to use existing data and tools to send relevant emails. Hey, in order to come up with the right segmentation strategy for your contacts, you'll want to really think about what's beneficial to them. Not every message is going to be relevant to every subscriber. So think about the interests that people will have with your products, services, programs, or even content. Think about the types of content and information that will make sense for your business or your organization and your audience to receive. And I know we have some people with nonprofits here, so I might be talking sometime, I may use the word companies. You can substitute the word organization or nonprofit if you like. Hey, at a high level, it might mean grouping people in your list based on different demographic characteristics, interests, location, or behaviors. You want to be sure you're sending relevant information to the right people. So it's important to understand that all of your subscribers are different. They are at different stages in the buying process, and they have different needs from you. You basically want to take your contacts and split them into different lists or segments. So when you're ready to send your next targeted email, you send it only to that group. Any past data you have is going to be really beneficial. But there are some things I'll talk about a little bit later on that will help you collect details or information on what they are interested in. So if you're ready, let's take a look at some common segmentation strategies that you can think about. If you're ready, put a Y in the chat box. Give you a second to look around for that Y. It's just like yes, right? So if you're ready, give me a Y in the chat box. If you're multitasking, come on back to me. We're going to head into the really deep dive here in just a moment. Yeah, okay, I wasn't clear enough. Some people are typing the word Y. Letter Y, word Y, it's all good. Hey, one thing you can segment by is the actions or behaviors that your contacts and customers take. Their actions can tell you a lot about what they're interested in, and there are a few aspects to this. First, you can think about the actions that people may take from your email campaigns, the emails they open, and the links that they click. If they open an email on a specific topic, you might put them in a list based on that topic. If they click to read more on a topic or to make a purchase, you certainly know that they're interested. Also, if they don't open or take action from your emails, it can be an opportunity to target with something completely different. With behaviors and actions, it's also important to think about the products or topics they've shown interest in other areas. And that includes purchases or donations they've made. Along those same lines, think about whether they are a prospect, a new customer, repeat, or maybe if you'd even consider them a VIP customer or subscriber. All of these behaviors can help you segment your list and determine the types of messages that you could send. So for example, if you're a nonprofit, and I know we've got some nonprofit folks here on the Zoom call, maybe even watching on YouTube as well, you might send different messaging based on those who have shown interest in donating versus those who have donated in the past. Also, think about the fact that repeat VIP customers or donors could warrant special messages as well. The next strategy to think about or consider is the demographics of your audience. Think about whether there are different groups of people you want to create based off of things like age, gender, income, or marital status. For instance, a realtor will probably want to consider a client's income so they can target with the right homes or rental properties. They might also consider age in the approach to how they market as well. Someone who's retired is likely looking for something different than someone who's in their 20s or 30s. Another example is if you have a sports store, you might consider income and even gender to target people with the right sporting equipment and apparel information. And if you're in the B2B realm, offering services, yearly revenue, and even industry could play a role in how you segment, so you could promote the right services to potential clients and get the message right based off of their industry. Now, this next strategy is psychographics, which have a lot to do with your audience's lifestyle. This segmentation strategy works well for those of you who have niche markets where things like quality and brand recognition are more important than price. For this strategy, you can think about things like their interests or hobbies, social status, personality type, attitudes, and their values. One example for segmenting by psychographics, if you were a shoe store who sells shoes for a variety of lifestyles and activities, you could potentially segment people based off of their social status and even interests to create the right segments to market to. Now, the last one is geographic. For this, you want to think about where your current and potential customers are located. And this is also something to think about if you have a physical location or even multiple locations that customers will need to visit. For example, if you own an ice cream shop in multiple cities, you'll potentially want to send separate messages to people at each location. If one of your locations needs a boost in sales, you might send a special message to people around or who have visited that location with a special discount or even event to bring them in. If you segment based off of different locations, you may also want to adjust your messaging based off of cultural differences or even interests. To segment based off of geography, you can use zip code, city, state, county, community, or even country. Now, for many of you, it's important to think about how you might use a combination of these strategies. Remember, you want to send the information that's most relevant to your audience. So depending on your business or organization setup, you may need to think about which combination of these strategies would be the most relevant to your audience. So let me talk about a few examples of these segmentation strategies combined. If you are a real estate agent, you might use a combination of demographic, geographic, and behavioral information to segment your list. You might have segments of new home buyers based off of different income levels. And if you can target based off of the communities or school districts they want to live in. Now, if you're a restaurant who has multiple locations, you might segment based off of behaviors as well as geography. You might create segments of people who you know are interested in your weekly special emails as well as the locations. Plus, you create a segment of those interested in your catering services for each location based off of actions you've taken in the past. And at this point, you've hopefully gained some general ideas on how you might start to segment your mail list. Chris is asking, well, what about home care? Chris, are you talking about senior home care? Is it based on age, demographic, gender? Give me a better sense of what you're looking for. And while Chris is going to let me know in the chat what the question's really about, we'll move on and we'll talk, all of them. Okay. So yeah, let me go ahead and talk about that before we get into the next section. So when it comes to home care, Chris, among the things you'll want to do is create lists based on what you know about that individual or that group. So for example, when you're collecting information about them as they subscribe to your mailing list, you might ask there what city they're in, what state they're in, what is their medical situation? And there are ways that you could talk about that in ways that are not intrusive, but just enough to give you a sense of how you might best serve them. So when you think about that, you may or may not collect that information immediately when they sign up for your list. And I will show you in a few minutes why I don't recommend that you ask for too much information right away. However, once they've been on your list and you've begun to cultivate a relationship with them because you find that they are opening your emails, then you could do a quick survey or a poll with just a click or two. They can give you a better sense of why they're on your list in the first place. And Chris, if you wish, we can always set up a time to chat. For those of you who are joining me live on Zoom, what I'm going to do right now is put a link in the chat where you'll be able to sign up for a free consultation with me. There it is in the chat. And if you're joining us on Zoom, on the Zoom stream, it's bit.ly/ the word meet, MEET, dash with, WITH, dash Ken, KEN, and it's all in lowercase. Using that link, you'll be able to set up a free consultation with me. I guarantee you there's no sales pitch. All we're going to do is understand a little bit more about what you're looking for, and so we'll give you some recommendations on how we might be able to help you. By the way, that URL, as I mentioned at the outset, is at the bottom of every slide in the lower right-hand corner. In this slide that you're looking at now, it's in yellow, all the way in the lower right-hand corner. All right, so let's move forward and let's talk about how to get your subscribers to self-segment. And then after that, we'll talk about how to use the existing data you have and apply the tools that will help you send relevant emails. Hey, I know for a lot of you, sitting down and segmenting your list can really seem time-consuming. But when you can get your contacts to segment themselves, you'll be able to save a lot of time and effort. Hey, after all, time is money. You've heard that before, I know. Hey, that's where this idea of self-segmentation comes into play. You can ask your new or existing contacts to choose what information they want to receive and collect information to help you segment your list. And here come a couple of methods that I'm going to talk about. I want to start at the top. When someone first joins your list, question for you. If you're multitasking right now, come on back to me. I have a question for you. How many of you out there are using a sign-up form on your website? Go ahead and raise your hand in the chat box. Go ahead and use the raise hand function. Let me know if you're using something to when they sign up. Peter and Marianne and Sabrina are doing that now. Well, that's great. This can be a good opportunity to gain some information from your subscribers. This is where you can ask them what kind of content they want to receive from you. In Constant Contact, you can actually add multiple lists to your sign-up form, and they can choose to sign up to one or all of them. Now, remember, here's the caveat. You want to keep your form as short as possible, so only add a maximum of 3 or 4 lists for them to sign up. You don't want to have your sign-up process be overwhelming. Now, this is for existing contacts to collect valuable information that helps you segment your list. In this case, you'll want to ask them to update their profile with you. You can add lists to your update profile form and let them choose which lists they want to be added to. And the nice thing about using lists on your forms in Constant Contact, whether it's the initial sign up or the update profile form, is that the contacts will automatically be added to those lists when they sign up or update their profile with you. If you feel you need to collect other pieces of information to help you segment, the update profile option really is still beneficial. Maybe you want to collect their zip code or city, which will allow you to segment based on those fields manually later on. To get your contacts to update their profile, I would recommend sending an email that asks them to do it. And by the way, it's also a best practice to make the ask the sole focus so they don't get distracted by other information. In Constant Contact, every email includes an update profile link at the bottom. So I suggest letting them know why you're asking them to update their information, right? That you want to be able to send them more relevant information, and also let them know how those updates will benefit them. Maybe you cater to a specific audience. If you ask them to update their profile with their city, their zip code, their age, even gender, if you wish, you can do that. You might say something in that email along the lines of, we want to ensure that you're receiving the most relevant information that pertains to you. Please click the update profile link at the bottom of this email to update your preferences. Another benefit to modifying the update profile form with lists is that if someone clicks to unsubscribe, they'll be able to choose to change the list that they're subscribed to instead of completely unsubscribing. That allows people options to change their preferences instead of completely unsubscribing. This next one is great because when someone clicks a link in your email, you know they're interested in that topic. So when you implement the click segmentation tool in Constant Contact, the contact will automatically be added to a list that you've chosen right when they click. In this example from Southside Cycling, they sent this email to promote their cycling club to their unsegmented general interest list. They included a button for people to find out more. And then when people click, they're taken to a page on the Southside Cycling website with more information on the club. And behind the scenes, they're automatically being added to a cycling club prospects list in their account. Now, this is really valuable to Southside Cycling because they know that people who are part of the club end up spending more than those who have not joined. And this allows them to begin sending additional information about the cycling club to this list of contacts to further promote the club. For those of you who don't know how to start segmenting your list, or you have a lot of contacts, this is a great opportunity to start segmenting your list without a ton of effort. All right, question for you. If you're multitasking, come on back to me again. I'm just curious, how many of you currently send an email newsletter that includes a few different topics? Go ahead and raise your hand. I'm going to lower the hands from before. Okay, go raise your hand. If you're currently sending an email newsletter that has a couple of different topics, raise your hand. I see Terrence has done that. Waiting for the rest of you. Now, click segmentation is great to implement in this kind of a scenario because you can send your newsletter that includes a link to each topic to read more or to purchase your product or whatever it is. And then when a subscriber clicks on a link, they'll be added to the respective list. I use this feature all the time. It helps me understand what people are most interested in the emails that have a variety of different things for them to consider. Typically, you only want people to focus in on one action item. But if you do have different topics, this is a great way for you to figure out exactly who's interested in what. So then you can send focused messages to each of the individual lists. And in this particular example, they could send a follow-up email to those interested in website design. And that means promotions about their web design service and other valuable content on optimizing their client's website. Now, for those people who click on the link to read more on the second article, they could send additional information to just those people about their social media management services, as well as the benefits of using social media for their businesses. Now you could create an email like this to segment your list based off of the topics or products or services that people may be interested in. Include buttons for each of the different options and enable click segmentation. And just a reminder, remember with this tool that you'll need to direct people to a web page. In this case, they're directing them to a page to sign up for the type of class they're interested in, along with information on the class. So in this example, behind the scenes, contacts are being added to a list for the respective class when they click, and that's all done automatically. The yoga studio can then send additional supporting information on each one of those classes that they're interested in, what to expect, and how to get the most out of the classes that they're interested in. So these options that I've talked about allow you to segment your list without a ton of effort from you. And you can set each of these up in just a couple of minutes. When you add lists to your sign up and update forms, people will automatically be added into the lists that they choose. And these forms can also be used to collect other details that will allow you to segment your list. You could collect information through standard fields or create your own custom questions. And don't forget about the click segmentation tool, where contacts click in an email is valuable to either begin segmenting your contacts or further segment your email list if you've already been doing it for a while already. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about some other ways that you can segment your list and send relevant emails to your subscribers. We've already talked about these couple of things. Let's go on to the next part. In order to get started segmenting, you're either going to need to find out the information you want or look at any existing data you have on your contacts. I want to ask you this, and again, multitasking, come on back to me. How many of you have initially uploaded your email list of contacts that you exported from another tool? Go ahead and raise your hand and let me know that. Maybe it came from Salesforce, or maybe you were using MailChimp or something else. I see Marianne and Peter are among those. That's great. Looks like Terrence as well. Now, here's the thing I want you to know is if you need help doing this, I'm here to help you. What I want to mention is that many of those programs have a lot of details stored that are about each of your contacts. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people remove these details before uploading a file of contacts into their email marketing program. So for example, maybe you're using Salesforce, or maybe you have a different CRM and you want to export their information from those platforms and import them into Constant Contact or MailChimp or HubSpot or whatever it might be. Well, don't delete that info because you can import 32 fields into a Constant Contact account and import multiple fields into other programs as well. You don't want to delete the information that's going to help you segment your list. The more data you have, the easier it will be to create segments. Now, also, think about any other places that you might have information that you stored about your contacts. You can always upload a spreadsheet with updated contact info, and it will update the contacts in your account. You just want to make sure the fields match up. You can easily add custom fields that will help you to further segment too. So this way you can segment based on the other pieces of information that you have. Now, I also want to mention that there are integrations that you can use directly with Constant Contact. Integrations can help you to sync contacts and data to segment your list. For example, there are integrations with Shopify and WooCommerce if you have an e-commerce store. And these integrations in particular will create segments based on the type of customers they are. First time, repeat customers, best customers, and more. And there are a lot of other integrations that you'll find under the integrations tab in your account that will help you sync contacts. So make sure you look at them because they can also save you some time. And at this point, I'm going to jump into a live demo. What I would like to do first is ask you, what email service provider are you using, if you're using one at all? And if you're not using one, don't be shy. Let me know that too. What email service provider are you using? And while you're entering that information in the chat, I'm going to switch the screen. And actually, I will come back on camera here for just a moment. Hey, how you doing? And looks like many of you are using Constant Contact now. That's awesome. Hey, by the way, if you're using Constant Contact and I am not the resident partner that is responsible for your account, you can contact me after this live event, or if you're watching on YouTube, let me know that and I will help you. I can help you get some more services out of your account. Or if you find that you're underutilizing your account, I can help you get more use out of it as well. All right, so let me switch screens here. Let me turn the camera off for a moment. And let me bring up another screen where I can show you exactly what to do inside of Constant Contact. So here we go. I had logged into the account, my own account, prior to getting this event started. And where I am right now is under the Sign Up Forms tool. And this is one of the ways, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, that you'll be able to segment your list based on when people sign up. So here's an example, and I'll make the screen a little bit bigger for you so you can read it more easily. This is a pop-up form that I have on my website so that when someone comes to the site and then they choose to move off the site, before they do that, they get presented with this form that invites them to sign up for my mailing list. And this, as you can see at the top, says get marketing tips to help you grow your business. This is something that you can easily change. So I can just change this just for demonstration. I'll go ahead and you can see how easily we can make it. It edits it in real time. So one of the things that I mentioned a little bit earlier was you want to be sure that you're not asking for too much information. So on this particular form, of course, the email address is required. That's, after all, what you're really looking for. And then I always ask for the first name, but you can see I have not required it. The more information you ask about people, the less likely they are to complete the form. So make as few fields required as possible. In this example, I'm asking for email, for first name, and for zip code. Now, I can make any or all of them required. Here, what I'm going to do is let's say we want to add city, and Chris, in your case, maybe you only serve a local geographic area. So we can make the city required so we know exactly what to send to those individuals. Make as little as you can required. You have a much better shot at getting people to sign up for the list when you do that. I'm going to remove this field for now. And so I'm only asking for 3 things, and then I ask them to go ahead and sign up. But here's where the rubber meets the road. You want to be sure that people are signing up for the list that you want them to sign up for. So in this example, when someone signs up for this particular form, they get added only to one list, marketing tips. When that happens, you see that they're not presented with, gee, which list do you want to sign up for? It makes it very quick and easy for them. However, maybe I also want to give them an opportunity to sign up to join a different list, or maybe even multiple lists. I can add all of these things. I'm a member of the Seminole County Chamber. Maybe I want them to choose to sign up for any or all of these lists. What that encourages is a way for me to have them sign up only for the things that they want, but it also gives me an opportunity to segment your list. So in this example, if they are in the area code 407, if they sign up for that list, then they will get information from me only targeting the 407 area code, if that's what I'm looking for in a specific email. So hopefully you can see how you might be able to use this to better serve your audience. And by the way, in these forms, you could change what the wording is. You could change the color of the text. Maybe I want the text to be yellow, or go back to white. Maybe I want the background to be a different color. You can see we could change those very easily as well. So hopefully that gives you a good sense of how you might be able to create a list that's totally segmented for you. Let's go back in to talk about some other things that I know will be of value to you. And so that was a little bit on the live demonstration. There will be another live demonstration in a few minutes. I want to share with you a few other ideas for segments and types of targeted emails that you might want to consider. When someone has had a recent interaction or makes a purchase, it's a good opportunity then to follow up with relevant information. In some cases, you might ask for feedback or even share onboarding information. This scenario in particular is great to use with email automation tools to simplify the process. By the way, on the subject of automation, if you recall when you first joined our session today, and if you're joining us on YouTube, you'd like to know too that on Tuesday, December 14th, I'll be doing another free masterclass. That one will be on automation. Hey, in addition, you can use the segmenting tool that I mentioned a few minutes ago to find the unengaged contacts. Maybe they've been unengaged for a specific period of time. Maybe they haven't opened up any emails that you sent in the last 6 months. You'll be able to do that using your email marketing service, including Constant Contact. So for those folks, you could then target them with a special win back message to try to catch their attention. Try something completely different with that. And along those same lines, you can also use it to find your most engaged contacts. Based on anyone who's clicked over a period of time, you could send them messages to thank them and reward them. Or maybe reward them by giving them a sneak peek of new products you have coming out. By attending this session today, you're going to be able to get a sneak peek at our Email Marketing Academy Essentials plan. No credit card required. I encourage you to try it out. It'll give you access to one of the 7 modules. And I know several of you who are attending this session live are in the complete Email Marketing Essentials class. And first of all, I want to thank you for being wise enough to join that class. It is really awesome. In fact, over this weekend, I'll be adding more content to it. So you'll get a few extra bonuses that will be revealed as those modules drip out. So one thing I want to mention is that if you've been doing email marketing for a while, your segmentation and targeting strategies are likely to evolve. You may need to do more segmentation for better targeting, and you'll be collecting data along the way based on your contacts' activity with your emails to help you with that. The segments tool can really help you utilize that data to create segments to target. And these are just a few ideas, but the ideas for targeted emails and segments are endless. It's also important to remember that the idea behind segmenting your list is to send the most relevant content possible to your contacts. That, by the way, is going to help you too with the number of unsubscribes, and it will increase your open rates to make your campaigns much more effective. So when you're ready to send an email campaign, you'll want to choose the appropriate contact list or segment on the schedule page. That's how you send targeted emails. Think about the segments you create and the content that's going to be relevant to each of them, and not just promotional information, but think about the relevant content that provides value. For example, if you have a group of contacts that are interested in product A, you can send information that helps them to see success with product A and even how to maintain it. You can utilize emails that you create and schedule as you need. And for any content that doesn't expire, think about using your segments with automated emails to save you even more time. I see many people using click segmentation and other tools, but not a lot of people actually following through to send relevant information to their lists or segments. Recently, we took a look at a customer who sends large general newsletter type emails, as well as targeted relevant campaigns. And this particular customer is using click segmentation to learn what people are interested in, and then following up with relevant, focused emails on that topic. And here's just a small sample of email results from this one customer for their open rates. On the left are the open rates for the general emails. On the right, you see the open rates from 3 of the targeted emails campaigns that they sent. Check that out. The email opens are almost double what the general email open rates are. Now, if we look at their click rate on the far right-hand side, you can see the same thing happening when they send targeted relevant emails. The click rates are way better as well. Now, even though their targeted lists are much smaller, they're actually performing better in both the opens and the click-throughs, as well as other metrics such as unsubscribes. I want to note also that when we start looking at the stats for other customer accounts who send targeted emails, we see those emails significantly outperform the general emails as well. So don't be afraid of sending targeted and focused follow-up information, because it really does make a difference. So at this point, I want to start wrapping up so we can get to the Q&A session. But before I do, I want to recap a few things. Number one, it's important to start by determining the types of emails or topics of relevant emails that you'll need to send. And this is going to help you determine which segmentation strategy you'll want to use. And this is going to help to ensure that you're sending information that keeps people engaged and taking action from your emails. Next, make sure that you implement the 3 self-segmentation options that I mentioned earlier. These are going to save you time and allow you to collect information that helps your segmentation. And remember, you can use these lists on your form to allow people to choose the type of content they want to receive right from the beginning of their relationship with you. Also, you can use the update profile option. You can use the update profile option to collect information from your existing subscribers. You can send an email that focuses on asking people to update their information with you. And finally, you can use click segmentation in your emails, because when people click on a link, You know that they're interested in that topic or product or service. And then the last thing I want you to remember is that all of that data you collect in the self-segmentation options and over time with your emails is going to help you improve your strategy. That segments tool within Constant Contact allows you to combine pieces of information to create the right groups you can target with the right information. So if you leave here today and do only one thing, make sure you use that click segmentation tool. That will give you a great start at segmenting your list without a ton of information from you. And just remember to send targeted, relevant information to the lists you create to improve your results. Now, what I want to do at this point is give you a chance to think about questions you might have for me. And while you're doing that, I'm going to take you into another demo. This is on something that I really, really love. It's a tool called Jarvis, and I referred to it earlier. Jarvis helps you really energize your marketing copy. In this live demo, what you're going to see is a way that you can use 53 different templates, any of them, maybe all of them. I typically use just 2 or 3. And you can see the kinds of options you have: Google ad headlines, marketing angles, different angles for the type of business or nonprofit you're working for. Maybe you like to use YouTube videos, create them and post them. Some of the tools allow you to create fabulous video descriptions. Maybe you'd like to update your SEO. Maybe you would like to summarize your text a little bit better. Maybe you would like to ask your audience to create for creative questions to increase engagement. So let's jump in really quickly to this live demo. So let me stop the share for a moment and let me bring up that page on my browser. So give me just a moment here to do that. There we go. So let me go ahead and bring that back up here. Just give me a moment. And we'll go back and share the screen again. This is the beauty of live TV. You keep your fingers crossed that things like this are going to work correctly. All right, so let me go back on camera here for just a moment and share with you that what you're about to see is a tool that I use all the time, and I recommend it to my clients as well. And while I'm getting set up to show this to you, I'm going to put the URL so you can sign up for a free trial of this when you have a few moments. So 1 second here. I'm not the swiftest typist in the world. As you could see, I even made a couple of typo errors here. So let me fix that. Disregard what you just saw in the chat. Let me go ahead and fix that like so. And if you're on joining us on YouTube, what I put in the chat on Zoom is www.jarvistrial.com. Okay, now I only saw one URL come in. No, actually I saw 2 URLs come in. So let's do one to start, and depending on the amount of time we have, I might even do a second one. Let me turn off the camera so I can go full screen. And what we're going to do here is we're going to try Gina's website. Okay, Gina's still here. This is cool. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pull up, we're going to title it American Society for Investigative Pathology. Sounds really interesting. I'm going to have to check this out. And I'm just going, for time's sake, I'm going to just put the product description being the name of the organization. Professional tone of voice, and there are like 25 different tones of voice you could use. And I'm just going to ask Jarvis to create AI content just based on the simple amount of information that I provided. There you go. within seconds, it comes back with, as the premier organization for medical and scientific professionals in North America, we offer you a rich history, and so on. You can see it didn't understand because I didn't give enough information. But here this might be something more accurate. Improve your physical and mental health through the use of blood sampling, pathological research, and more. What I'm going to do here, I'm totally guessing since I don't know Gina's business, but let me just put that description in and see what Jarvis comes back with. I'm going to ask it to generate more content based on the content that I've just provided. And let's see if it does a better job. Here you go. We help you get the best, most reliable results from your tests. Our high quality work is what makes our services worth it. The point of doing this is that you may or may not be totally pleased with what you've got going on. Here I'm going to, and what Jarvis will do is give you a set of fresh eyes, if you will, on how you might be able to improve how your website is performing. So let's go in here with persuasive bullet points, or better still, let's go into website and let's have it come back with unique value propositions. And again, for the sake of time, I may or may not be doing you justice, but ASIP is the only organization in the world with no agenda other than, and you can see from there. The point being that within seconds, we're able to come up with some really great info. Here's another client of ours. I'm going to switch over to Metro Plan Orlando. I think Marianne is still here. Yeah. So here's metroplanorlando.org's website. And we're going to use this in Jarvis, and we're going to find some content. Here we go. The transportation process, planning process continues, and we invite you to stay connected with us. So let me go ahead and plug that into website content improver. And here we'll type this in with a cut and paste and ask Jarvis to give us some content recommendations. And if we don't like these, we'll just ask Jarvis to give us 3 more. There you go. And that quickly and easily, we can create new information about Metro Plan Orlando. Maybe we have a blog post. Maybe we need help with blog post ideas. If you get writer's block, as so many of us often do, this may be of great value to you. Maybe you want to create a video script hook, an introduction. This is a great way to get some great ideas on how to get those kinds of things done for your business. Maybe you've written the blog post and you need a great conclusion. How about if we try this? Let's see what Jarvis comes up with. And this is the great thing about having live stuff. You just never know what Jarvis is going to come up with. But here we go, conclusion paragraph. Stay connected with us and join one of our virtual meetings. We'll be hosting more in the coming weeks. So that gives you a sense of what Jarvis can do for you. Let me go back here on screen for a moment and let you know that regardless of whether you are using segmentation or not, or whether you have whether you need help with generating some content for your website, we're here to help you. So let me just go through. I want to once again ask you to think about some questions you may have before we go into Q&A. My question is, are you ready to take your business or nonprofit to the next level? I mean, are you really ready? Well, if you are, take action. I know I've gone through a lot of information with you during the last hour. I'd encourage you to get on my calendar. You can find it at kencountess.com. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat. When you go to that page and then you see that blue button that's in the middle of the black background, that will allow you to set up a free consultation with me. I'd also encourage you, also on the same website, by the way, that you can sign up for more of our upcoming classes. Once again, you'll find them at kencountess.com. We've got another dozen or so masterclasses coming up between now and the beginning of January. Go to kencountess.com and sign up for them. If you're not using any email marketing services yet, I recommend that you try out Constant Contact. As I've said several times, that's what I use. That's what I always recommend for my clients. And you can get a completely free trial at completelyfreetrial.com. And if you're already using Constant Contact, great job. If you are using it and maybe you're not getting the most out of it, maybe you say, you know what, I've just hosed everything up. I want to start fresh. You can use that URL, set up a new free trial. And if you want to move forward, I will actually take everything from your old account and move it into your new account only with your permission. I don't do anything at all that's not requested by our clients, but we can help you get much more out of your Constant Contact account, either your new one or you're an existing one. Either way, we're happy to help you out. That's completelyfreetrial.com. And lastly, if you would like to try Jarvis, you can get a completely free trial of Jarvis by going to the URL I placed in there a few moments ago, and there it is in the chat again. When you use that specific URL, jarvistrial.com, you will be connected to me. I'm an affiliate of theirs, and you'll get 10,000 free bonus words. The free trial is 5 days. Try it out. See if you like it. If you love it, then keep it going, and it'll become a paid subscription. And if you don't, just cancel within the first few days, and you have no other obligation. And then the last thing I mentioned to you is that I'm offering you, as a thank you for being here today, a free limited access to the Email Marketing Academy. If you use this URL, which is bit.ly/free academy module, and you've got to have the dashes in the right place. I'm going to put it in the chat box. Use that URL and you will get access with no credit card needed to the Email Academy. This is module 6 that you'll be getting. There's modules 1 through 7. If you decide you like it, then you can just sign up and get the complete academy. And it's unlimited access. It's just, self-paced whenever you want. It's got the free module, doesn't have the worksheets and the quizzes and all, but the paid module does. And you'll have complete access to it. I'd encourage you to try it out. What the heck? It's free. Hey, I'm Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help you gain a unique advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do the targeted marketing that you learned about today. You can call or text me at this number, and or use the email address that's at the bottom of the screen in red, or you can use the other contact info that's also been at the bottom of every slide. So I want to thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me live or you're watching on replay or you're with me live on YouTube. Go ahead and reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from you. And I want to be sure that you don't miss any more of our free masterclasses. Join me, go to thecountessgroup.com or kencountess.com, either way, and you can find out what the next events are, and I hope you'll sign up, and I hope you'll show up. Thanks for everybody showing up. It's Friday when you're watching us live. It's Friday, just a little bit afternoon in the Eastern time zone. So thanks, have a great weekend. If you're watching the replay, thanks for joining me, and I hope you'll take a look at all the other great resources that we have on YouTube as well. Bye for now, everybody.